Hello and welcome back to day 6 of the 7-day Athlete AI Challenge, where I take you from not knowing how to code to full-blown athlete dev and your own built-out, customized athlete operating system, what I call your Athlete OS. So far, throughout the last couple of days, everything we've done, we've been telling Claude, do this, create that, plan for that, build this. Today, that all changes. We are going to work on automation. Today's video, we're going to cover 3 topics. The first, we're going to build another skill, but this time our daily recovery check. The second thing, we're going to create our first automation. How do we set up the recovery skill to run every single morning with a go, no-go, or pullback decision? And then finally, we're going to create a second automation where we take our day 3 weekly review skill and turn that into a Monday morning brief for you to be able to use actionable going forward. So without further ado, let's dive in. As always, we start in our Athlete OS. Today's first task, let's create that daily recovery skill where we're going to have Claude actually tell us how have we been trending over the last couple of days, and do we need to pull back, be more aggressive, or are we just right? So I've created a prompt for you to get started. Go ahead and grab the reference prompt in the attached URL. We're going to paste that directly into Claude Code. Perfect. It's starting always with grounding itself in research. Nothing that it does is going to be hallucinated because of the structure we set forth in that Claude.md file. Our first Claude questions. Let's take a look. What is my current sleep schedule? Honestly, I feel like I'm about 7 hours. I wish I was more, but that's really kind of where I'm at. My heart rate variability, that is tracked in my Garmin. I've got that there. My life stress. Honestly, it's been pretty high. I'm starting a new business. I just moved. I've got big plans ahead of me. So realistically, it's high. It's getting less stressful, but right now it's high. Do I tend to overreach? Abso-freaking-lutely. I always pile on too much. I'm going to tell Claude, yes, I pile on too much and I move too fast. So be cognizant of it. And that's the beauty of this. Claude actually begins to understand who you are as an individual. What makes you tick? What are things that you do differently than somebody else? And so all the planning and all the research and all the prompting that you're going to be doing is geared specifically to you. Nobody else can give this to you like an Athlete OS. And that's what makes this so freaking powerful as you build this out. And as you can see, it's spinning up subagents to try to get through this work quicker. It knows that it's got a really big load ahead of us. So instead of one Claude trying to do it, it's creating multiple mini Claudes. It's the coolest thing in the world. All right, awesome. It just started to come back with some really good data. And again, similar to our previous skills, it's grounding itself in real world actionable sources, not crazy chatbot hallucinations. So acute chronic workload ratios, it's looking at resting heart rate trends, it's looking at heart rate variability, and that's impact on training, early markers of overtraining and non-functioning overreaching. This is all stuff that a professional athlete would look at every single day, every single week, that its team of specialists was put together. And the beauty of this is all it takes is a Claude Code subscription and a Strava premium account to get access to this information, to use it at your fingertips. I don't know where else you can get this without paying thousands and thousands of dollars. Then it's going to create rules to bake into the readiness tool. So that design philosophy, what are the things we're going to do every single day to make sure that this skill is running the way that we want it to? Of course, it's always going to give us the sources because we defined that in our Claude.md file, and it knows that this is the way we want to operate. And then it's going to have its confidence flags. These are the things that it knows really, really well, and it's very confident about. Now, you might be saying, I don't want to read all of this information. The good news is you don't have to. All you need to do is understand that Claude went out and it actually did the work, so that it's going to use that information to create the skill that will be used every single day to give you that actionable insight in terms of, are you overtraining? How are you progressing on this training block? Do you need to pull back or speed up to meet your goals? And now you can see it's already catching something that's a little bit out of range, where my acute workload is a little bit stretched, a 44% jump from the previous week. Something to think about, and it's probably because I've been moving and then my schedule's been a little bit crazy, but it flagged it within minutes. Perfect. As you can see, it just created 2 skills and it created our first automation. Now there's some things to tweak we'll get to in a second. The first, the recovery check. It wants to run it every single day at 6:48 a.m. And then the weekly review is every Monday at 7:12. Now, the automations it built within this session are session bound. So that means if you close this Claude Code session, it's actually not going to run. So what we need to do is we need to build in the Claude Code desktop app an actual routine that runs on the specific time and date. So let's move over to the Claude Code desktop app and get to work. So I've gone ahead and I've linked the 2 routine prompts that you're going to use to create these automations. Go ahead and grab those and let's paste those in one at a time, beginning with the morning recovery check. Let's create that daily recovery check that looks at our training data over the last couple days and tells us, are we pushing too hard? Do we need to push more, or are we just on track to meet our goal? In the top right corner, you'll click New Routine. It's very important that you click locally. What local does is it actually runs on your desktop and not in the cloud. We're not set up for cloud infrastructure. It's a little bit more advanced. So today, just run it local and everything will work perfectly. Now the name, your morning recovery check. Description, a daily recovery check looking at past performance. Instructions, go ahead and paste that in. Now there's 2 final steps that you need to make sure that you do correctly here. The first is remove ask permissions. Change that to auto mode. And then the second is select folder. You're going to want to select the actual folder that you stored your Athlete OS in. For me, it's Projects Athlete OS. For you, it might be something different. Next, set the schedule. Daily, and we want it to run at 7 a.m. Now you can see this little note down here. Schedule tasks, use a randomized delay, which is exactly what Claude Code said. So we know that everything is going to go out. We can go ahead and click create, which is perfect. That skill was just created. And you can see here, act without asking. That's exactly what we wanted to do. We want it to work without having to ask us for permission. Let's go ahead and run that skill. Now this will take a couple minutes to run through. We just created a pretty complex skill and we know that we want it to be right. So when you click run, give it a couple minutes. Perfect. We just got a notification from Claude that our morning recovery check is actually completed. Let's take a look. I mean, pretty freaking cool. It's saying go easy, right? Our acute workload is actually increasing and we should probably not do hills again tomorrow. Perfect. We did hills today. That's fantastic. So now you can see how powerful this actually is. Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., I'm going to get a full, complete recovery analysis of where I am and what I need to do. So today is very important because tomorrow the automation starts to click. Now let's go back and let's add our second skill, which is that Monday weekly review skill. So go back into routines. You're going to grab that reference prompt that I've given you in the reference files. Go ahead and grab that. Go up to new routine. Select local, name it Monday weekly fitness review. Description, a weekly review of my past performance. Instructions, paste that again. 2 very important features. You must select auto mode and then you must select the folder that we've pointed it at. Change the time to 7 a.m. Make it weekly on Monday at 7 a.m. Go ahead and click create and boom, just like that. You've created a weekly skill, a weekly routine, a weekly automation that will run every single week without you having to do anything. This is the beauty of the software. While we're sitting here, let's go ahead and click run and let's see what it comes back with. If you're getting through this and you realize that one of these steps isn't necessarily working, just drop a comment back in the community and I'll jump in to help you out. Awesome, it just finished up. Let's take a look at our Monday weekly fitness review. Where'd it go? Routines, and you can click history. If you ever get lost, just go back. The full history of every time it's ran is right there. Perfect. This is actually pretty powerful. It just ran this exact skill on our repo without us having to do anything. And every single week, Monday at 7 a.m., this is going to run. It's analyzing our information and it's coming up with actionable plans for the next week so that we can be more informed. Now, there are ways to get Claude Code to get your Athlete OS to actually send to your cell phone, whether it's via Gmail or Telegram. Those are a little bit more advanced features than we're going to cover in this 7-day challenge, but don't worry, I've made modules directly for those. So if If you're interested, go check those out because it's really powerful when you can start talking to your Athlete OS. And that concludes day 6 of the 7-day Athlete AI Challenge. Today, we've covered routines. How do you set up your actual automations? I hope you found this helpful. If you have, please like and subscribe down below. And tune in tomorrow for the 7th and final day where we tie it all together and we actually show you a visual of all of this crazy stuff. See you tomorrow.